Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Nick Push, and thank you for joining tonight's Halloween Killstream. So, this is my first live stream in quite some time, and I'm excited to do it. I'm going to be having these every Tuesday until the release of Halloween Kills, which as of now is October 15th. I'm going to stress, as of now is October 15th. That is subject to change. We'll get into that, I'm sure, at some point tonight. But yeah, so every Tuesday night, I'm going to be doing these and doing it for a couple of reasons. Number one, like I said, it's been a while. I need to get back into the swing of things with these live streams. And number two is sometimes it's just easier for me to go live than make a pre-recorded video. I'm still going to be doing pre-recorded content, but sometimes it's a pain in the ass, to be honest. And, we all got busy lives, and sometimes it's just easier for me to, hop on live and talk. And then you get more interaction with the chat and all kinds of things like that. So that's number one. Number two is just a little housekeeping here. I am very close, like one away from 2,000 subs. And I'm not asking you to sub. I'm just saying thank you to anyone that has subbed, and thank you for all the support that you guys bring me. I really appreciate it. I started this channel just to have an outlet to talk about Halloween and horror movies because my friends in real life aren't really into that shit. And it's been great. So I just want to say thank you to all that have subscribed and all that tune in and all that interact with me. It really makes it a great experience. So, like I said, every Tuesday we're going to be doing these. In addition to that, I did want to mention a buddy or some buddies of mine. We've been doing a Road to Kills watch parties. They're usually on Wednesday nights. The next one is tomorrow night. It is on Jake Blaster Productions YouTube channel. So if you're not aware of that, just make sure you go check those out. Tomorrow we're watching Halloween Resurrection, which don't really want to watch Halloween Resurrection, but they're a fun time talking about the movies, breaking them down, talking about Halloween Kills. Jake Blaster Productions, like I said, he's a buddy of mine. He does a great job on these watch parties. Make sure you check that out. Give him a subscribe to him. Do whatever you can to help support him. He's a great guy. And joining us on his Road to Kills live streams are also the boys from the Halloween verse. Some more great guys that really know their Halloween. And they all got some controversial opinions, some great opinions. They're really great to interact with. So make sure you check them out too. They also have a YouTube channel. So enough of that. You guys don't want to sit here and hear me talk about all these other great channels, because you're gonna tune out of mine and go to theirs, which I wouldn't blame you. But I just kind of wanted to do a couple of things tonight. I want to just talk about the trailer for Halloween Kills, because I haven't really gave my thoughts on a lot of things on that besides just my initial reaction. And I also just kind of wanted to open it up to the chat and just talk about anything you guys want to talk about regarding Halloween Kills. We have come so far. We've been waiting, God, feels like forever, but essentially we'll have waited 3 years for this movie, and almost 2 years, since it was announced, or over 2 years, I guess, since it's when it was announced. Fucking COVID, right? So yeah, but we are almost here. Can you believe next week is already September, which means, we're about 6-7 weeks away from the release date, which is exciting, for all of us fans that have been waiting forever for this movie. So I'm going to give some of my thoughts on the trailer, and then I'll kind of ask you guys your thoughts and tell me what you are most excited about for Halloween Kills, whether it's returning characters, whether it is, seeing Laurie Strode be a badass again, anything you're excited about, let me know and we can talk about it. And then any questions you have, any things you want to talk about, we'll get into as well. So my thoughts on the trailer. I'm just going to kind of tell you guys some of the things I liked and then some of the things I didn't like. And then we'll get into it from there. So first thing that popped into my mind on things that I liked was I am a big fan of the score. And basically what we heard in the trailer was the Halloween theme. I really was digging it. I was very curious what they were going to do. I thought they might, add some synth like Halloween 2, 1981 a little bit. They added something. I can't put my finger on it, but I thought it was awesome. The little bit we did hear of it. I am aware that the soundtrack did leak recently, maybe like a week, 10 days ago. I have not listened to it. I have not read the script. I have tried to stay away from any spoilers as much as I can, but shit's out there. I'm going to keep my thoughts on what I've heard from other trusted sources about the score. They're not positive, we'll just say that. But for me, what I heard in the trailer with the theme, really was digging it. And that's kind of the first thing that popped into my mind. The other thing that jumped out at me was one of Lori's lines. She says, the more he kills, the more he transcends. Really, really liking that line. It feels something, that Loomis would say, because really that's, for me, I don't know how you guys feel, but for me, what's been missing since, 95 has been the presence of Dr. Loomis and Donald Pleasance. I know, we've had some, voiceovers by him with people doing his voice, and they've done a fine job, but it's just not the same. So Laurie's kind of the new Loomis-ish, I guess you could say. But the line, the more he kills, the more he transcends, it's very intriguing. What do you guys think of that line? Do you like that line? Is it a little too, supernatural? I know, we're going back to the roots a little bit, as far as Michael not being, full on supernatural. But you got to remember, look at all the Loomis lines from the OG in '78. The Devil's Eyes monologue, all this fancy talk, as you say, or as Brackett says, I should say. So it's not like we haven't heard it before when Michael's human. So yeah, I really like that line. I do not take that line literally. I don't think he's transcending into some supernatural force and, every kill his head's going to get bigger or some shit like that. You can't take some of this shit literally. Just like when Loomis says, I watched him sitting in a room, staring at the wall, not seeing the wall, looking past the wall, you can't take it literally. It's not like Michael literally sat and stared at a wall all the time, but it's fancy talk, as they were saying, or as Brackett says. So I really like that line. I want to see what other lines like that Laurie has. She's trying to warn people that, he's not human. So it's really effective for me. So that's another thing I liked. The other thing was the bodies. So Lonnie and Lamb, and it looked like Cameron and maybe Allison, if I remember right, are sitting in some type of vehicle. And Lonnie's basically saying that, all these bodies are leading straight to Michael's childhood home. We knew already that we're going to get the Myers house. And from some pictures that leaked, I don't know if you guys saw them, it is not going to be the Myers house from Halloween 5. I know Jake Blaster, who I mentioned earlier, is going to be very disappointed in that because he's a huge fan of that mansion. I'm kidding. But it's exciting that we're going to see the Myers house. I think it's cool that, Lonnie figures out by looking at a map that, these bodies are leading to the Myers house. So maybe the final confrontation of the movie is going to end up with them, realizing they need to go stop Michael and go to the Myers house. It's pretty intriguing to me. So I like that they didn't show it, but I like that it was mentioned. So yeah. The other thing, speaking of the Myers house, the flashback. We know we're getting at least one flashback scene. From what I've heard, 2 flashback scenes. I am a big fan that they did not fucking show them in this trailer. Will they show them in the next trailer? If I was a betting man, I am a betting man, but if I was betting on it, I would say yes. But I am a big fan that they did not show it. Let us, have some mystery here. This flashback is going to be, I don't want to say it's going to make or break the movie, but it is extremely important. If they have a 9 out of 10 movie, except the flashback is, 2 out of 10, that's going to drop it a lot of points for my book. If they have a 7 out of 10 movie and the flashback's 10 out of 10, boom, I'm going to fucking love it. It's dangerous. It's fucking dangerous. We've talked about this ad nauseum, guys. The flashback's very important, and I'm a big fan that they did not show it in the trailer because I want some mystery. The other thing I liked was, you guys, this doesn't seem like something I would like, but I liked the opening of the trailer where it showed Michael escaping and just that bad fucking ass scene of him killing firefighters with blazing fire all around him. I think that is fucking awesome. We knew it was going to happen. I am a big proponent. I said from the get-go, I did not want to see this scene. I wanted Myers to all of a sudden, show up somewhere, not show it. I think that would be much better for the aura, for the mystery of his character. However, I also said from the get-go that Universal, the production company, everyone involved, was not going to not have this scene because it's fucking gold as far as marketing goes. Seeing Michael escaping a house on fire and killing firefighters, we've never seen something like that before. I do have an issue with some of the kills I saw in that scene being a little too Jason Voorhees-esque. But I'm a realist. This is 2021. This movie's set in 2018. As Randy from Scream would say, your core audience just expects it. So I get it. I expected it. And it was cool. It's exactly what I thought it would be. It was badass. There was one little part where it looked a little CGI-ish, but I can forgive that because it wasn't horrible. So that's what I liked about the trailer. Tell me in the comments what you guys liked about the trailer. Now let's get into there's only a couple things that I had issues with in the trailer. Number one is a big one. There is a scene that gives away a character's death. I didn't catch this at first. I heard from other people and went back and watched it, and sure enough, they were right. So if you don't want to hear this scene, tune out for 30 seconds. In the trailer, you can see that they have the silver shamrock masks, okay? And they're on corpses, right? Pretty cool. I agree. However, if you look at what one of the victims is wearing, it is the same outfit that Marion Chambers is wearing. It sucks. It basically just gives away Marion's death. I didn't think she would survive this movie, but it'd be nice to see her on screen and not know that she's going to fucking die. Big fucking mistake. It really actually pissed me off. So yeah, that's my issue with the trailer. One of my issues. The other issue was, that scene with Karen holding the mask. You want your mask? Come and get it. I am just a little scared that we're going to see too much of Michael without his mask on. I hope they're smart enough to light it correctly. I hope they're smart enough to not show his face. There's no way that they need to show his face. Have it completely in darkness where you can't see it. I don't know what they're going to do with that. So it just scares me a little bit, just like the flashback scares me a little bit. Yeah, other than that, I was a big fan of the trailer. Maybe because, we had been waiting so long for it, 1.5 years, and it finally came out. It was like fucking Christmas. Obviously, it got leaked early, which was bullshit. Is what it is. We got it when we got it, and it was cool. So, yeah. So that's my thoughts on the trailer. Like I said, let me know what you guys have as far as the trailer goes. We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna go into the chat in a few minutes, but I just want to talk about some of the returning characters here. So we know we have a few returning characters from 1978 that we haven't seen in a while. We got Tommy Doyle. Last we saw him was a controversial performance by Paul Rudd in Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. We have Lindsay Wallace. We have not seen her since the OG. She is played by, what the fuck's her name? Damn it, can't think of her name. Tell me out in the chat. Real Housewife chick, but the same original actress, which is awesome. We have Sheriff Brackett. We haven't seen him since Halloween 2. However, we obviously haven't seen him in this timeline since Halloween, the OG. Kyle Richards, thanks, bud. Kyle Richards is who plays Lindsay Wallace, and played her. So yeah, excited to see her. Easy on the eyes, obviously, as well. Doesn't hurt. But yeah, so Brackett, we haven't seen since Halloween 2 and 81, but remember, we haven't seen this Brackett since 1978. Marion, who we had talked about earlier, we haven't seen her since Halloween H2O when she was killed by the Shape in one of the best scenes of Halloween H2O, which isn't saying much. But if you want to hear my thoughts on Halloween H2O and many thoughts on Halloween H2O, go watch Blaster's Halloween H2O watch party we did last week. It's some pretty good shit on there as far as opinions go. But we'll get into that some other time. So yeah, we got Marion back. We saw her in Halloween 281 as well. And then we have Lonnie Alam back, who obviously was the bully in the OG Halloween. And then he is Cameron from Halloween 2018's dad. So that'll be interesting. Out of all these characters, tell me who you guys are most excited to see. For me, the two, I'm excited to see all of them. But if you put a gun to my head and said, who are you most excited to see, it'd be Tommy. And the reason for that is Tommy is the one that told Lori it was the boogeyman that was across the street. Tommy's the one that looked out his window and saw him standing there. Or it standing there, however you want to say. Tommy's the one that looked out the window and saw the Shape carrying Annie's dead body. Tommy's the one, that said Lori, told Lori about the boogeyman. So I'm excited to see his arc. And also Anthony Michael Hall. That'll be interesting. Obviously, he looks a lot more like Brian Andrews would growing up than Paul Rudd does, like by a lot. So yeah, I'm excited to see Tommy. In second place would probably be Brackett, because I've said this before, and I just want to see Brackett have a conversation with Lori, probably when Lori's in the hospital, because it sounds like or looks like that Brackett may be a security guard at Haddonfield Memorial. I want to see him have a conversation with Lori about what happened in 1978, about Michael killing his only, as far as we know, his only daughter. Maybe he's been like Lori as well. Maybe he's been just gearing up for the fucking apocalypse. Maybe he got fired because he, wanted to do some vigilante justice on Michael after he was captured. All sorts of, there's so many different angles you can do with Brackett. Now, Brackett looks pretty old from the pictures I've seen, so I don't think there's going to be some big action sequences with him. But I would like to see him go out in a blaze of glory. We'll see. We'll see if Myers makes it to the hospital. From what I've seen in the trailer, it doesn't look like it. It looks like maybe Lori's going to be in the hospital and everyone else is going to be, heading out to find Michael. And then they realize, like Lonnie says, that he's heading towards the Myers house. So that is something that might happen. Maybe Brackett's going to kind of be in the background. But as long as I get a conversation between Brackett and Lori mentioning Annie's death, mentioning what he's been up to, mentioning that, he wants Lori to kill Michael too, something like that, I'll be happy, So it'd be cool to see him go out in the blaze of glory. We'll see what happens. Like I said, Charles Cyphers is looking a little bit long in the tooth, as they say. So I don't know if we'll get that, but as long as we get that conversation, I'll be happy. And then Lindsay Wallace coming back too is just so exciting. Especially here's why I'm excited about Kyle Richards coming back and Lindsay coming back, is that Lindsay was obsessed with horror movies when she was a kid. from the OG Halloween. She's watching The Thing from Another World, which obviously is even cooler now because, Carpenter remade that movie with possibly his best movie, arguably The Thing in 1982. So yeah, I'm excited to see, what Lindsay's been up to, what her and Tommy's relationship has been like since '78. Maybe I hope they're not fucking married. I think that'd be a little bit too soap opera-y, a little bit too on the nose. Maybe they've kept in touch through, phone calls and texting since then, because obviously they probably dealt with the trauma. They were kids. They saw, they didn't see Michael kill anyone, but, they saw Michael standing at the top of the stairs. When Laurie's like, go down to the Mackenzie's house, they saw that. So it's got to be traumatic. So hopefully her and Tommy have some sort of relationship, just not a romantic relationship, in my opinion. So what are you guys excited for about this movie? Let's see what's going on in the chat. You guys have to excuse me a little bit. I'm a little bit rusty here on live streams, but we will get it. We got a lot of people in the chat. So let's see what's going on. We got Josh the Horror Guy. We got Byron Weaver, that movie nerd. We got Jake Blaster, Swanson. What's up, guys? How's it going? Anna, how's it going? All right, so let's see what's going on. Drake Playas 0305 says, I saw a video where the firefighters are literally just spraying Michael with the damn fire hose. Is that true? Maybe it's a spoof, but I hope not. Although it'd be cool to see Michael on fire. Anna says, hey, Nick, looking good in that blue light. Thank you. Yes, I'm trying out a few different things with the blue lighting. So you guys might see different shades of color and stuff in the future here. But I'm trying out a few new things here. So you guys might see a few changes. Bud says, I'm excited about the flashbacks. Yeah, me too. I would say I am more cautiously optimistic. Like I was talking about earlier, they have to fucking nail this flashback. For me, it's too risky. If I were them, I wouldn't touch it. Only because there's way more that they can get wrong than they can get right. However, we have seen some behind the scenes pictures, and from what I've seen, they look good. The mask looks pretty damn close to the OG. It's not James Jude Courtney playing the Shape in the flashbacks. It's can't remember the guy's name, but a younger guy. So we'll see how he does. But it should be interesting. But like I said, it's dangerous. We know he's going to run into Lonnie and Lamb. So that might be a cool scene, and that'll probably be when one of the flashbacks occurs. When we get an introduction to Lonnie, and he may say, I remember I ran into him that night, and then we'll go and see, the picture that we've seen with the Shape behind a hedge bush, as Lonnie's, trick-or-treating or whatever. What we cannot have happen, what they better not fucking do, is make me question when something happened when I'm watching the OG. It's imperative that they do not do that. I cannot, and I've heard this on other channels I've watched, so I'm just kind of repeating it, but they're right. We cannot watch the original Halloween and see, for instance, Lindsay watching The Thing from the Other World and being like, oh, this is when Michael ran into Lonnie. But wait, that Lonnie scene lasted 20 minutes, it looked like, and, Michael, here we know where the Shape is most of the night. How is that possible? Don't fucking do it. I know whatever they've done, because the movie's, 6 weeks away from coming out. But they better not fuck with our baby, 1978. So yes, I agree. I am excited for the flashback as well, but I'm cautiously optimistic. And it'll be interesting to see what they do as far as, I've heard rumors that the Myers house is going to be in the flashback. So what's going to happen? Excuse me. What's going to happen with the Myers house in the flashback? From a storytelling perspective, the first thing that comes to my mind would be Michael goes back there after he's shot, and that's where he's arrested. Do not show him being arrested. I mean, can you picture them, a bunch of cops showing up, Michael standing on the Myers house porch and cops are pointing guns, get down on your knees, and Michael goes down on his knees. God, that'd be horrible. So yeah, that's why little things like that pop in my mind. That's why I'm cautiously optimistic more than excited, but maybe they'll surprise us. I'm going to go in with an open mind and see if they surprise us. Josh the Horror Guy, what's up, Josh? Says, I'm excited for Tommy to die. He looks like a douche swinging that bat around. Yeah, it seems interesting that, he's just carrying a baseball bat. He's got the shaved head. Anthony Michael Hall looks like he's put on a pound or two, being generous. Since the last time I saw him, the last thing I really remember him is when he was in that USA show, The Dead Zone. I didn't really watch it, but I remember the commercials. But yeah, that was maybe 15 years ago at least. So yeah, I don't know if they'll kill Tommy. I guess it'll all depend on what is in Anthony Michael Hall's contract. As far as possibly being in Halloween Ends. Let's see here. Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. What's up, Jason? Jason Richardson, how's it going? All right, let's see what else we got going on. Jason Richardson says, I expect to see 20 to 40 kills at least in this movie. Fuck, man. Normally I'd say that's ridiculous. That's, Jason X territory you're looking at. But you may be right. I mean, if you think about the opening scene alone with the firefighters, I guess I'm assuming it's the opening scene. You're looking at least 5 kills right there. And if that's the opening, within the opening 10 minutes of the movie, you keep up that pace. Even if you fall behind that pace, you're easily going to hit that mark. So yeah, I'd probably guess, if I had a guess, I'd say we're going to see 25 kills, maybe more, maybe 28, something like that. That'd be my guess. Jake Blaster says the trailer showed too much. Yes, I would agree with that. That's one thing I forgot to mention. And it's not surprising, that the trailer would show as much as they did. Especially we remember what happened in Halloween 2018, right? The closet scene. It ruined any suspense we had of seeing Vicky, or of knowing that Vicky was going to die or not. Now, they're showing a babysitter in a movie 40 years after the OG Halloween, which was originally titled The Babysitter Murders. When Vicky comes on screen and she's babysitting Julian, we most likely know she is going to die. But by showing the closet scene in the trailer, they sapped out any suspense that we had of that scene. So yeah, I agree that Halloween Kills trailer showed too much, but at least we didn't get that, right? Halloween Verse says, I think the trailer was in order of the movie as well. That is a great point. Yeah, I didn't really think of that, but I think you're right, because it starts out with the firefighter scene, then it goes to the hospital, where Allison says, my grandmother was right, the boogeyman is real, and then it cuts to a few other scenes, and then we get some more murders and Michael walking around. Yeah, it does seem like it was in the order of the movie, which you don't see too often. I don't really like that either. That's a good point. Let's see what else we got here. Here's something concerning from Jake Blaster. James Jude Courtney has said Michael is without his mask for quite some time in this movie. God damn, that's scary. Yeah, like I said, it's all about how they light him. The last thing we want to see is Michael's face. I know in 2018 we got it from behind, but we don't need to be seeing some guy with gray hair and a beard that's supposed to be the boogeyman, killing people. Hopefully it's kind of lit. There is a scene where they show the shape walking in a backyard, or at least it looks like a backyard, and you can't really see his face at all. It kind of has similar like Halloween 2 vibes at the beginning, Halloween 2 1981 vibes. but it's lit perfectly. So I hope we get that. I didn't see that Courtney said that. God, that why? Just fucking why? Especially when you got a great fucking mask. How many movies have we been through where the mask sucks? Halloween 4, god awful. Halloween 5, god awful. Halloween 6, okay. Halloween H2O, Jesus fucking Christ. And we see the mask the whole goddamn movie in those. We finally get a good mask, and now he's walking around without a mask? God. Ugh. It's frustrating. Frustrating to me. Let's see what else we got going on here, guys. Ben Meeker, what's up, man? Says, I hope to bring the character of Miles Barton back in as an Easter egg. Miles Barton. Who the fuck is Miles Barton? Help me out, Meeker. Help me out. Who's Miles Barton? I can't remember. Holiday Bros, what's up? Says, hey, Karen could die and I could care less. Yeah, I am not a fan of Karen either. Yeah, I honestly, remember, I have not read the script. I know nothing about any character deaths or anything like that. But if, like I keep saying it, if I was a betting man, but I'm going to say it again. If I was a betting man, Karen's going to die. Especially the fact that we see her holding the mask. That does not portend well. You know, you want your mask, come and get it. I think Karen dying would be good for Allison's character, especially her character arc in Halloween Ends, which we got to talk to. There's going to be a time jump, apparently. Jesus Christ. We'll talk about that soon. But Karen dying, I think, would be good for Allison as a character. Obviously, Allison's dad died, Ray, Peanut Butter Penis Boy. He died. We didn't get to see her react to that. Maybe we'll see a reaction from her and Karen and Lori in the hospital because we never saw a reaction in 2018. Hopefully, we get some kind of reaction. Not that I need to see some big cry fest, but it's her dad. And it's the same night. So, yeah, we need to see some type of reaction of Ray. But, yeah, I'd like to see Karen die. Let's see what else we got. Gifted Speaker. Hey, Gifted Speaker says, do you think this movie will be in the same night as Halloween? Yes. It has basically been 99.9999999% confirmed that it is the same night as Halloween 2018. Let's see here. Who else do we got in the chat? Here's a good question. By Swanson Skateboards. Tyler Swanson, is that you? If it is, hi buddy. It says, do you think we'll see more of Dr. Sartain in a flashback? Ooh, maybe. I don't know much about the actor that played him. So I don't know anything about, any obligations that he had. But that would be interesting, especially, if he's kind of Loomis's protege. So maybe we will. I would highly doubt it, to be honest, but it'd be interesting. All right, Ben Meeker. One of the Strodes has to die, in order to complete the ends line and to get Lori out of the hospital. I don't see her leaving the hospital in Kills. Yeah, that'll be interesting. So I agree that one of the Strodes has to die. Karen, sorry, not Tyler Swanson, Brian Swanson. Sorry, Brian. But anyway, so I agree that Karen, or one of the Strodes has to die, and I think the most logical person is Karen. Obviously, it's not going to be Lori. She's too much of a cash cow for the studio to kill before Halloween ends. And Allison's, kind of taking the mantle, probably, in a manner of speaking. So if any of them are going to die, I think it's obviously got to be Karen. And as far as Lori leaving the hospital, yeah, I would doubt it. However, there is that scene where she's walking with the knife. Maybe she's walking. Maybe that's how the movie ends. Kind of. Who knows? With her walking with the knife to try to kill Michael. Who knows? But yeah, I agree. One of the Strokes has to die, and it'll most likely be Karen. Holiday Bros, do you agree that Badass Lori from 2018 is the second best version of Lori besides the original? I personally love how they let Jamie kick ass and even kept her long hair. So, great question. For me, and this is just me, I would rank the Loris like this. I would go Lori from the original, just because we have her arc of, not believing in the boogeyman and, finding her inner strength, the first, not first final girl, but kind of the quintessential final girl, especially at the time. I'd rank that number one, my number one version of Lori. Number two would actually be H2O. Not a fan of the movie, but I do like her character arc. And here's where the 2018 version of Lori loses me a little bit. I think the H2O version of Lori is more realistic on how someone would react to the trauma of what Lori went through. Obviously, in Halloween H2O, Halloween 2 existed, so it's not apples to apples. But Lori turning on Linda Hamilton, I'm actually not a huge fan of. And I know people love it, so I'm probably in the minority here. I think it would actually be a little more realistic if we got the 2018 version of Lori, if Halloween 2 was canon. And I know the brother-sister thing, I know that's why they couldn't do it. I understand all that. But badass, gun-toting Lori, kick-ass Lori, would, for me, be more realistic if Halloween 2 existed for this reason. She witnessed more of Michael, nonstop coming after her in Halloween 2. She saw him shot and get back up at the end of the movie. She saw him walk through fucking glass. She saw him be blown up. That's the only way they could fucking stop him. Kill an entire hospital. Midnight ghost staff of a hospital, but still. So I think that version the 2018 version of Lori would be more realistic if those events occurred. Not that she didn't go through trauma in 78. That's not what I'm saying. But I prefer H2O version of Lori over 2018. However, I prefer Halloween 2018 as a movie over H2O, if that makes any sense. Halloweenverse asks, thoughts on Halloween Kills streaming digitally as it is in theaters? I think it will stream digitally, but not on the same night that it's released. So here's where we're at with the release. Obviously, as of right now, like I said, it's October 15th. Venom got moved, was it last week, to the same night. It's a bit of an issue for Kills and for Venom. They're going to eat into each other's opening night profits. So one of those movies, I think, probably will move. But man, we're getting close. Like I said, we're 7 weeks away, 6 weeks away, whatever the hell it is. But as far as VOD goes, I think if they were smart, they would stream it on VOD Halloween weekend. It's in theaters for 2 weeks. If it stays on the 15th, it's in theaters for 2 weeks. You make all that big theater money, and then, it goes to VOD. Obviously, we're in a different age. Obviously, we got all kinds of COVID shit ramping up. I would bet bottom dollar that, as the weather begins to turn, you're going to hear Dr. Fauci say, we got a Delta variant, we need to, do whatever. So I think there's going to be more fear in a few weeks than there is now, as far as going out in public for some people. And that's going to make it easier for, the decision to go on VOD. So I think it will go on VOD, but I don't think they'll do it opening night or opening weekend. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And I hope so. I hope for the people that don't want to go to the theater, because they don't feel safe, I hope they still have the opportunity to watch the movie in October. So I hope they do both. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Jake Blaster says Loomis is crucial in the flashback. How they handle it, I mean. Yes, I 100% agree. like I said, I have not read the script, so I don't know what's exactly going to happen in the flashback. Um, you can do the math a little bit. But as far as Loomis being in there, that's another thing that's just scary, and probably unnecessary. Um, if they nail it, though, it could fucking make the goddamn movie. Like I said, we haven't seen Donald Pleasance play Loomis in, since '95. It's 26 years ago already. Holy shit. So yeah, if they nail it, it could be great. But if they fuck it up, God, please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. So yeah, I agree that Loomis will make or break the movie. Um, Maybe not make or break the movie, but it's definitely important. Let's see what else we got going on here. Holiday Bros says, in my opinion, H2O Lori had closure because she thought Michael died. In the 2018 timeline, he's still alive and waiting, and she knows that. That's why I think having that for 40 years makes on the mind makes it better. Yeah, I mean, I see your point. And H2O, you know, as she says to Hartnett's character, I didn't exactly stick around and watch him burn, or however the fuck she says it. So she's got, in the back of her mind, she's not certain that he's dead. And even the line from the cop at the beginning says they never found his body. So yeah, I get your point though. So yeah, let's see here. Jake Blaster Productions, Jaws 3 or Jaws 4. So this is kind of a running joke between us. Joke's on him because Jaws, I think, look, it's Jaws 3. Jaws 3 is not a good movie, like at fucking all. But there's Jaws 3, and then there's Jaws the Revenge, which is god fucking awful. Jaws the Revenge is right up there with Freddy's Dead as far as I go. As far as it goes for me, which means it's one of the worst movies ever made in cinema. Not just horror, in fucking cinema. Jaws 3 is a goddamn masterpiece compared to Jaws Revenge. Jaws the Revenge. Mike Reality, hey Mike, says might just see a back or quick shot of Loomis' side and may hear a line or two. I think that wouldn't be as bad. Definitely not a close up though. Yeah, I agree. It can't be a close up. God, I hope not. I mean, what would they do? I don't think they have the budget for to CG it. That shit's expensive. But yeah, so I'm sure it'll be some a back or quick shot of Loomis's side. I think Mike's right here. Maybe we'll see the trench coat. That'd be what I do. I'd kind of have the camera maybe aimed on the side, like you're saying, Mike. You see the trench coat. You see Loomis, point his gun again. He's got to reload his bullets, I think, because I remember in this timeline he wasn't putting more bullets in Brackett's car. He obviously shot him 6 times, which is all the bullets that gun holds. So yeah, I think they have to do a side shot. I hope we don't get a close up because that would ruin it for me. I think they're smart enough not to do a close up. But from what I heard, these are the same people that wanted or considered changing the ending of Halloween 1978 for Halloween 2018. They wanted Michael to kill Loomis. Why? So with these guys, I think they did a great job in Halloween 2018, but some of their creative decisions or creative thoughts that they've had in the past are why, all bets are off as far as, dumb shit they could do. All right, let's go. Michael Unknown says, can we please go back to the old school roots in Halloween Kills? Atmosphere, stalking, darker. 2018 and H2O are the most overrated films in the franchise. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Michael. I am with you 100% on this. There was barely any stalking in 2018. Certainly, basically none in H2O. The only scene in 2018, which I would say there was any stalking, would be the scene with Oscar, which is actually my favorite scene in the movie. Michael standing in back of Oscar. You kind of just see him in the background, and Oscar is giving his lame lines that he gives, and then he looks up and Michael's gone, and then you have the motion light. That whole scene is great, but other than that, there's no stalking. The atmosphere, it's all right. So I hope they have some stalking in Halloween Kills. However, I'm not optimistic on that. For all intents and purposes, from what we see in the trailer, for what we know about this movie, this is going to be a balls to the goddamn wall, fucking Michael on a killing spree, which in some respects is going to be awesome because we've never seen that before. We've never seen Michael be pissed off and just start killing anyone in his fucking sight. So I am excited for that, but tonally, they gotta make it dark. They gotta have him in the background, have him in the shadows. The thing that scared me the most about Michael as a kid, the scenes that scared me weren't when he killed people. It's when he's in the background and he's on the phone. She's walking back and forth. He's there, and then he's gone, and then he's there again. Or he's outside the laundry room. Those are the scenes that scared me the most when I was a kid in Halloween 1978. And quite frankly, there was none of those, or almost none of those in 2018. There hasn't been one of those in a long time. But here's the problem with the no stalking is, they're saying that this is the same character, the same Michael from 1978. So technically, he should have the same MO of, finding someone and toying with them, of watching them. But we didn't get that in 2018. Now, I know why we didn't get that. Because it's 2018, and now it's 2021, and times are different, Young people don't want to see someone stalking in the background. They just want to see kills, 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 It's unfortunate, but it's reality. I don't think we're going to get that anymore, But for me, like you, Michael, and like a lot of people, I'm sure in the chat, I want to see some stalking, some tension, as what was Hitchcock's quote? There's no fear in, no fear in the bang, only the anticipation of the bang, or something like that. I'm butchering it. But that's what I want to see. So I'm 100% with you, Michael. All right, guys, we're going to go for about 15 more minutes, and then I'm going to give some updates, small updates on some other live streams we got coming up here soon. Let's see. Halloweenverse says Shanks is worse. I assume you're talking about worse than Durand, and for me, Shanks. I'm with you. I think Shanks is the worst Myers that we've had. Doesn't help that he was in Halloween 5. Let's see here. What else we got going in the chat? Can't keep up with you guys. Pete's Ultimate Movie Reviews. Hey, Nick. Hey, Pete. What's going on, buddy? Here's a good question. Halloweenverse. How do you want kills to end? That's a loaded fucking question. And here's why. Up until 3 weeks ago, something like that, we were all under the impression that Halloween Ends was going to take place on the same night as Halloween Kills, right? So in that case, obviously would have to end on maybe not a cliffhanger, but something like that. Enough time where they can, probably end at maybe 2:30, 3 in the morning at the latest. So you have enough time for Ends to continue the story of that night. But now, David Gordon Green leaked, either accidentally or on purpose, in an interview that because of COVID, they decided to switch the time that Halloween Kills takes place. Which is interesting to me because they had already shot Halloween Kills. They shot Halloween Kills knowing, right, that Halloween Ends was going to take place on that same night. How are you going to switch it? what the fuck does that mean? Where's Michael going to go? So that brings up a whole bag of other questions. But knowing what we know, that it takes place a couple or a few years later, that ends takes place a few years after Kills. How do I want it to end? Well, I don't want Michael to be captured again. I'll tell you that. What's going to happen? He's going to be captured again, and then he's going to escape again a few years later. Lame. Obviously, it's got to end with Michael disappearing at some point. Basically, I'd like Michael to win. This is essentially the second act in a 3-act play, in a manner of speaking, which is usually the dark act. So I hope Michael wins. Maybe it ends with him killing Karen or killing Brackett, and maybe Lori and Brackett and Tommy and Lindsay and Allison and all of them have some master plan on how they're going to get Michael. And it ends with the plan going afoul, going amok, and Michael just fucking kills like 4 of them. And it ends with, Lori rushing the, Karen's side or Brackett's side, whoever Michael kills, and, saying he's still out there or something, and then it ends and then cut to black. So that'd be kind of cool. It ends on a note where, Michael wins and, we got to wait, another year or 2 or whenever the hell ends comes out to find out what happens. So I think that'd be cool. I think Michael winning would be how I want Kills to end. Gifted Speaker says, what are your thoughts on Michael Myers' mask being burned? Do you like it? And what are your thoughts on Michael's fingers being shot off? I think Michael's fingers being shot off looks scary. Let's answer the fingers one first. I'm fine with it. I can't remember what finger it is, but it's like it's a couple of his middle fingers, his middle finger and his, whatever the hell do you call the other finger next to the pinky. And I think those are the ones that were shot off. I'm fine with it. It shouldn't affect too much. It looks cool. It looks like, damn, he's been through fucking hell. As far as the mask being burned, from what I've seen, it looks pretty awesome. It's unique. It's still, the Halloween 2018 mask, but just half of it's burned, like the shark in Jaws 2. So I think it's cool. It gives the movie a unique feel. It gives Myers a unique look, and it goes with the story of everything. So yeah, I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it because Christopher Nelson did it, and it's not shit. If the Halloween 4 mask was half burned, that would look dumb as fuck. If the H2O mask had a CGI burn on it, that'd be fucking dumb. So Christopher Nelson, and him I trust. He did a great job in 2018, and from what I've seen, he did a great job in Halloween Kills. All right. Mickey-san TV. Sorry if I butchered that. Mikey-san TV says, I'm in the minority. I can't stand Michael Myers in Halloween 4. And honestly, I like Halloween 5 and 6 more than 4. Michael Myers in Halloween 4 ruined it. He looked horrible. Just my humble opinion. Yeah, I've heard that. I like Halloween 4 a lot. Hate 5. Not a huge fan of 6, but I think there's many aspects of it that are underrated. But as far as Michael in Halloween 4, yeah, there's some issues. I personally think it's the worst mask in the franchise. I think it's worse than 5. I think it's worse than H2O. And, there's a lot of scenes, where the shoulder pads that, the hell's his name? George P. Wilbur is wearing. I'm not a big fan of the way it looks. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Christopher Schober, hey Christopher, says, do you think Myers is going to be immortal in Halloween Kills and Ends? No. And I hope not. Well, let's be honest. The character of Michael Myers is immortal as far as, the studio probably is not going to want to ever fucking kill him off because money. But I don't think he'll be immortal. It might seem like he is because of the damage he's taken, but I don't see him being immortal. That's why they kind of went back to what the character was in the OG, because he became, like you said, a little bit too immortal. By Halloween 4, he's, walking stiff and, can't be killed. Halloween 6, obviously, we got the Curse of Thorn and all that, so they went back to the original intent of the character. Whether they nailed that attempt or not is up for debate, but I don't think he'll be immortal. At least I hope not. Okay, guys, we're going to go for a few more minutes. Jason Richardson says, Michael will probably kill Tommy, Brackett, Lindsay, and probably a lot more. Well, I'll agree with a lot more. I don't know if he'll kill Tommy. Lindsay, I don't know. See, Lindsay, I think Lindsay, I'm going to say Lindsay survives and she's in ends because Jamie Lee Curtis was so excited to have her back, Kyle Richards back. So I think she's going to get the Laurie Strode get out of jail free card. And obviously Kyle Richards, wants the attention. She's a real housewife, so she's going to want the attention. So she probably, maybe begged JLC to let her live for another movie. Tommy, I don't know if he'll kill Tommy. We'll see, but I think Brackett's probably a goner. Bud says the rumors are out there that Kills moves to October 1st, paving the way for 1 week in IMAX and then going to VOD on Halloween weekend. Do you think this is the best way to maximize dollar for this thing? Ooh, that's a good question, Bud. Without looking at what else comes October 1st, and I'm guessing if they're moving to October 1st, it's because there's not a movie like Venom that's that weekend. It could be a decent strategy. I think Bond comes out the week after that. I want to say Bond comes out October 8th. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So they'd have a good week then, or a good weekend to, probably be the only big dog that's opening in the theaters. It might be the way to go, and then you got the run up with all of October. So yeah, I'd be for that, except for the fact that it would ruin, some of the Road to Kills live stream, and it ruined some of my plans for videos and shit. So that's one thing I wouldn't like. If they do that, if they do that, they'd have to make the decision pretty goddamn quick, because like I said, next week is September, what is it next week? Wednesday, I think, is September 1st. So then you're looking at a month away. So that's 5 weeks out. I'm sure it would be pretty easy to switch it because obviously the movie's cut, the movie's ready to go, all that shit. But I don't know what they have planned for the marketing. So yeah, I'd be cool with that. I think it probably would be the best way to market that thing, especially then you got, like you said, you got a weekend IMAX and then VOD Halloween weekend, I think would be smart, like we said. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Let's see here. Christopher Schober says, do you think that Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends will get steelbooks? Eventually, yes. So we know that those steelbooks are coming out. I think they're steelbooks. Or am I thinking of something else? But anyway, we got the Scream Factory steelbooks, if that's what we're talking about here, for Halloween 1 through Halloween 5. They're supposed to be coming out soon. And then rumor has it that they're going to do Halloween 6 through Rob Zombie's Halloween after that. And I think that'd be a good segue then for them to do the new trilogy, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. I really loved the artwork on that Scream Factory shit. I just stared at those pictures, all day long, and zoomed in on them. You see little details you didn't see. They're very, very cool. All right, guys, we're going to go for another 2 minutes here. Jason Richardson says Bracket actor is 82, so he will most likely die. Jesus, Cyphers is that old. He looks that old, so I agree with you. Yeah, I don't see Bracket surviving. I'm with you there. Him being 82 years old certainly helps cement that point. So yeah. So all right, guys. So we're gonna end in a few minutes. A couple of things here. Number one, going to be doing these live streams every Tuesday. Going to have some guests on. I'm going to try to get Jake Blaster Productions on here. And I got a few other people lined up they're almost lined up that I don't want to spoil right away. But there's going to be some surprises. But every single Tuesday up until the release of Kills, whether that's October 15th or October 1st or later, we're going to do it every single Tuesday. So that's number one. Number two, tomorrow night on Jake Blaster Productions, we are doing the Road to Kills live stream. I am a guest on there, as well as the Halloween verse people. Jake Blaster has graciously invited me to participate in these, and I'm grateful. So he, like I said, he does a good job, and all those Halloween verse guys, they're fantastic. They got a lot of great opinions. They're big fans of the franchise. So make sure you tune in to there. I believe the movie, we're starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, but the live stream gets started at 8:40 Eastern. So make sure you join us tomorrow. We're watching Resurrection, which, as much as we all probably don't want to watch that, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun to talk about and kind of compare it to some of the other movies in the franchise. And number three is, like I said, thank you guys so much for for participating in the chat. Thank you guys for subbing. Bud, Jesus Christ, you sent in a super chat. You don't have to do that, man. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. So thank you so much. Very generous as well. You're the man. But yeah, so make sure you tune in to Jake Blaster's channel tomorrow. Make sure you tune in to here every Tuesday night. Starting next Tuesday, I'm going to have certain topics that we're going to discuss on Kills. For instance, get into some of the returning characters, get into what Halloween Ends timeline switch means, and all kinds of shit like that. We'll still open up the chat to all kinds of different questions and that. But I really want to thank you guys for showing up, and I will talk to you guys later.